How is Pisces feeling in the second week of January 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about dealing with or manifesting? 3 cards, please. The Magician reversed. So the Magician, when he's upright, is someone who feels that they have all 4 aces. The Ace of Cups, okay, major empathy, the Ace of Wands, massive determination and enthusiasm, the Ace of Pentacles, lots of money, yeah, the ability to make money, the Ace of Swords, truth, research, communication, okay, they may be an excellent orator. When it's reversed, it's someone that feels that they don't have the tools to succeed. So at the moment, Pisces, you don't feel that you have what it takes to make something work or go to the next level. So let's see what else comes out. Okay, the 10 of Wands, something has been really challenging for a long time. The 10 of Wands, the good thing about that is it's the end of a cycle. Each wand represents a burden, something that's really like being thrown at you and you've had to like endure a lot, okay? So no wonder you feel like you haven't got what it takes to like make this work. There's only so much you can take, isn't there, before you collapse with exhaustion or you get frustrated, you start to lose your sense of humour. You know, something's just so frustrating, unbelievably annoying, upsetting that it's just not funny anymore. Like, you can be strong for too long. The King of Swords. This is a cold, logical energy. It's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. He's upright, okay? So he's not necessarily being nasty. It's a king is someone who's very considered, very intelligent. They do their research. They're a fantastic orator, speaker, writer. They can think on their feet. Very, very charming. Okay, so in the upright, it's just brilliant communication, but it's someone who's able to cut through the crap and they won't take any nonsense either. Okay. A king is very responsible. Okay, they probably have children and parents to take care of. Probably have a household to take care of. So in the reverse, we've got the 10 of Cups, which is an unhappy family life, okay? The 5 of Pentacles is the challenge, so feeling lack, okay? A lack of money or being outside in the cold emotionally. It's an unhappy home. Someone's in an unhappy home. And that is the feelings of your person, or the one you're thinking about, or the one you're manifesting in. Because you're showing up as the King of Swords, if I get a court card on their side, I think I will say that, you know, this is someone who you are living with. living with, sorry. Let's see what comes out. Unless you've split up with them and now they feel like they've lost their family. because you won't talk to them or something like that. Eight of Swords, mental entrapment. Feeling like there's no way out when there actually is. You know, being overwhelmed with mental activity. Self-imposed imprisonment. Hopelessness. Oof, Ten of Swords. That is like heavy, isn't it? Ten of Swords is like very upsetting, overwhelming mental activity. They've gone from the Eight of Swords, like self-imposed imprisonment, to the Ten of Swords. Nine of Swords is like, I can't sleep at night. I'm afraid, I'm worried, I'm stressed. Ten of Swords is like, there's no coming back from that. Like, in the traditional tarot deck, the Ten of Swords is like, someone literally got swords down their back, you know, or stabbed all down the front. Like, there's no coming back from this, so... Yeah, I'm feeling like this is someone who's lost their family situation. They feel really pushed out, really excluded, alienated, like really, really miserable. Let's get 3 for the outcome, please. It's you. You're the King of Swords. You're holding the sword. And they've kind of got swords all around them. And then, like, swords are flown into the ground, and it's just like oblivion, like absolute devastation. What is going on here? With the outcome, we've got a card of nostalgia. So thinking about what's been achieved and cultivated so far, like within a relationship, each cup that's added is full of water, which are emotions, and those flowers bloom out of those cups. And we've got 6 cups because it's been many years of being in love, making a life together. So there's lots of memories of nostalgia, feelings of nostalgia, a soul connection. Someone, you know, that you have been in love with, had a full-blown relationship with. There's lots of memories of that. The Empress upright. So your person could be a Taurus or a Libra. They're showing up as the Empress. The Empress is all 4 queens, so she's the same status as the Emperor. So you hold this person in very high regard, whether they're male or female, isn't determined by the character on the card, okay? The Empress is a nurturer. She's a provider. She's abundant. She's abundant with beauty, abundant with love, abundant with money. She's intelligent. She's a visionary. She can create from zero as many times as she needs to, wherever she is. She has everything she needs within her. She's all 4 queens, okay? So you hold this person in incredibly high regard. She's the Empress upright, so this is how you view her in the outcome. One more, please. Ooh. The Three of Cups can speak of third parties, okay? It doesn't have to be, it can be community, celebration, groups of people, like the whole family getting together with the wider family, like all your colleagues getting together. It could be all your mates, okay? But it can also be, in a love reading, it can be three different people in a love triangle. It's a very upsetting reading, actually, because we've got the Magician reverse, that's depressing. The Ten of Wands, that's depressing. The King of Swords, cold, truthful. There's blood on the sword, you know, he's able to kind of cut the crap and go head over heart. And on the other side, with your person, they've got the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups reverse, it's depressing. The Ace of Swords, depressing. Ten of Swords, depressing. Why on earth, in the outcome, if we got a married couple with the Six of Cups, and then married couple or long-term relationship, possibly with children, possibly living in a home together, the Empress and the Three of Cups. It feels like there's a lot of unhappiness here, and potentially a love triangle. If it isn't a love triangle and you two have been apart, you may be reuniting. Because if we've got we've got Six upright, Six of Cups upright, which is a card of unity, balance, fairness, nostalgia. It could be you getting back with, you know, your person, being reunited with each other, and everyone celebrating afterwards, and the Empress could represent, you know, a rebirth. You'll know which one resonates for you. You'll know, you know, if it's showing up in your reading, you would heavily suspect cheating, or you would be aware of cheating. If you hadn't experienced or cheated, or experienced someone cheating on you, and you were just really struggling while living in a house together, and the relationship was on the rocks, or the marriage was on the rocks, it may be that you are, after a period of separation, or really struggling to be in the same place as one another, it would appear that it's a very happy outcome, that you're reuniting, that you're having a rebirth of that loving connection. It's so dark on both sides, like the symmetry of this, right? We've got, like, when the Magician is upright, it's a very, like, there's a lot of sun, there's rainbows, it's reversed. When the Ten of Cups is upright, there's a lot of sun, you know, a lot of happiness, people cheering, it's reversed. I don't usually clarify your feelings, but I'll clarify theirs. Why has this person got the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups reversed, please? Why has Pisces person got the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups reversed? Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Distance, you and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Manifest, tell the universe exactly what you want. Oh, I do feel like they're manifesting like a reunion, a rebirth. What's the nature of this connection, please? Between Pisces and the person showing up in their reading, what's the nature of this connection? Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. It does seem like, you know, it looks like a married couple on a honeymoon, that you need time, the two of you, to like get away. If this, you know, is to repair, and it's kind of showing that it can do. So let's see if I'm confirmed in what I'm thinking and get you some advice. What's your advice, please, for Pisces when it comes to this reading? If this is resonating for Pisces, what is your advice? Prudence. Don't be lured by the siren's song. Now that could be a warning not to... It's a warning either way, like proceed with caution. But a siren is like someone who's distracting, who's very attractive, who, you know, has you like... you're kind of captive, you know, like they've got your full attention and maybe they shouldn't, or something like this. I do feel like it's a bit of a warning not to get distracted by anyone outside of the connection. I don't know why I'm getting that. Opportunity. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave the rough seas. Interesting, because there's very opposite advice in that deck, saying don't be afraid to go back to shore, and it's talking about being safe. This one saying, opportunity, you will prove yourself and discover if you brave the rough seas. So, oh, do you know what's beautiful about that? It's like all the cards on here are stormy and dark on your spread on both sides. There's been a lot of aggression. There's been a lot of getting tired and fed up, you know, and angry. There's been a lot of fear and anxiety, and so much negative emotions on each side. You've reached the end of a cycle, each of you, because you've got tens coming out. And then as the outcome, you've got happiness. I think you're going to recover this. I think you're going to recover this, like, really bad phase that you've been through. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave the rough seas. So, and then your other advice is retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. If you focus and give yourselves time together, like on a breakaway, holiday, or some kind of like time out from, you know, the stresses of everyday life. I'm not saying it's that easy to fix stuff, but for you guys, whoever this is resonating for, it's a beautiful outcome. That is someone you've already had a relationship with, okay, that you've created beautiful memories with, many, many beautiful memories. That's a rebirth. The Empress is pregnant, you know, she's able to give birth to new opportunities. She's a symbol of creation. And then you've got the Three of Cups, where groups of people are celebrating together. How can you have all that happiness as an outcome after a week of pitch black with, you know, metal swords and like burning wands and like everyone fighting and being miserable? You've got a glorious outcome. Opportunity. Brave the rough seas. Fire sign, distance, manifest. Let's get you some more advice. What's your advice, please, for Pisces? If this is resonating for Pisces, what's your advice? There's a lot of advice here. Inspiration board. If I am ever feeling down or bored, I spend time creating a vision board to place in my home. I fill it with quotes, pictures, and desires that bring me inspiration and joy. Okay, so we're looking forward to the future. Okay, no need to drag the past into this. Spirit's urging you to reunite, okay, reconcile, and make new goals looking forward to the future. Personal journey. I follow what feels right within me without needing validation from others. We are each on our own journey, and mine does not need to look like anyone else's. My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough, so don't worry about what other people think. If you want to get back together, do it. I will tell you about friends of mine, okay? They split up for a year. They'd been engaged for like 9 years, or together for 9 years, engaged for many. And they split up for a year, and immediately friends started to point them in opposite directions, and it was all anyone could do was just be excited. Oh, who should we set them up with? You know, and it's like they got back together, so you need to be really careful what advice you give to people, what you say about their ex. You know, if you get the vibe that it's done and it's dead in the water, and you know, fine, but people do reconcile, they get back together. So, you know, stranger things have happened, and it's no one else's business, really. Spirit's letting you know with personal journey that you don't need to conform to what anyone else thinks. Don't put it in the hands of anyone else to decide. You and the person that you have been in a relationship with and that you've been separated from, you're the only ones that know the true dynamics of that relationship, and you're the only ones that get to choose whether you're in it or you're out of it. No one else gets to decide that, okay? It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. Okay, so if someone judges you really harshly, it may be because they're feeling particularly strongly about that issue at the moment. You know, maybe they're judging someone else that did it to them, or they're judging themselves for behaving that way. Maybe they wish they'd done the thing that you're doing and never allowed themselves to, so that means you're not allowed to. You know, it's not anyone's business to push their opinions on you. When people do that, it's because they're relating your situation to themselves, okay? They're relating it to themselves, and they have their own journeys, their own stories, their own characters that they've been involved with and tangled up with and influenced by, or that they've been judged by or afraid of. So no one can really relate to you 100%. All they can do is reflect back what they've experienced, and that would be very different. In their scenario, they could have been involved with someone who was married, and the married person went back to their partner, you know, their husband or wife, and they just felt really used and tricked and deceived. And then another person could have an affair, and the person, you know, is having an affair because it's fully over with, you know, their partner, but they just don't want to upset the children. And then so in the future they end up actually committing to the person who's the third party. When people say once a cheater, always a cheater, or it's never acceptable to, you know, to cheat, or it's never this, or you must never divorce, or you know, you must never abort a baby, or you must never do this, or you must never do that. They're very harsh judgments, and we've all been younger, and we've all said I'll never do X, Y, or Z. And a lot of us have got older, and we've seen people do X, Y, or Z, and we've done X, Y, or Z, you know, and it gets harder and harder to judge, and you kind of see the grey area in life more and more. Not everything's so black and white. You know, we grow up thinking everything's Disney, and that you have mum, dad, and baby, and it's all straightforward and it's all beautiful, and there's never a problem, and you get married and everything's perfect after you get married. Life doesn't work like that, okay? It's messy, it's full of ups and downs, it's full of challenges. Relationships come to an end, and marriages are just relationships with a piece of paper, okay? So I'm not saying don't take marriage seriously. I'm saying if you recognise that, that staying together when you know that someone's not in love with you anymore, or you're not in love with them, or it's mutual, if you recognise that you're doing that because of fear of being judged, or for practical financial reasons, sorry, practical financial reasons, that's not a reason to stay with someone, is it? You need to be in love with each other, and you need to be respectful of one another, and you need to think, I'm living my best life with this person. Everyone deserves to feel like that. No one deserves to stay in a situation they know they're not happy in because it suits everyone around them, and they get to keep everything how it is because that makes them feel better, because it's not their relationship, and they can damn well get over it. um, and oftentimes you don't survive when you try to put a sticking plaster over stuff. It implodes anyway. So it's like, you know, you road rage, don't you? So you're driving along the street, someone, you know, screams at you, they're flashing their lights, they want to bully you and make you move into the next lane so they can zoom and break the speed limit, and, you know, they're sort of like projecting onto you something that is probably like happened to them earlier on in the day that's pissed them off, and now they're sort of driving like a wazik. You haven't never met that person before, like you're nothing to do with what's happened in their day, but that is projection. Okay, so to take kind of the complexities of love and judgment and what's right and wrong and morality out of it, road rage is just plain wrong. Someone's pissed off about something else that's happened that day, and now they're putting everyone else in danger and being aggressive, they're being impatient, when we're feeling generous and we're feeling calm, we may listen to what, our friend tells us and respond, or just listen and not judge. If we feel like we relate to their situation as the other party, or we feel like we've been in their situation and it didn't work out well for us, then we may judge them and say, oh, you're foolish for doing that, or you're silly for doing that, or more fool you. But that's assuming, it's making an assumption that what happened to them is going to happen to you. Or no one can know that, because they don't know the person the way that you know them. They probably don't even know you, you know, as well as what they think they do. But even if they're right, they shouldn't judge. But no one can really know, can they? Their job, if they're a friend, is to sit and listen, because if you're cheating or something like that, it's because you're unhappy. And when people do things like that, they're trying to manage so much. They're trying to manage the kids' feelings, manage the partner's feelings, manage the parents' feelings, manage the siblings' feelings. They're trying to think about everyone, you know? And that's a lot of burden to carry. It's a lot of burden to carry. I'm not saying they're victims, but people cheat when they're unhappy. The only people who kind of like, the only people who are really truly disgusting are people who are sleeping with the partner and sleeping with like anyone they like as well as the partner. If like you've grown apart, but you kind of keep up the pretense of being a family, living in the same house, but you're not really sleeping together anymore, you don't really connect like that anymore. I know it's an emotional betrayal, but at least you're doing it because you feel isolated and you feel lonely from within a situation. Like if you're just an absolute horrible person and you are actively having a physical relationship with your partner and then you're doing that with other people as well, that's just lying to everyone. That's horrible. I think there's very few people that do that, but that would be a narcissist for sure. That would be like a full blown narcissist, wouldn't it? Because they just wouldn't have any feelings like for anyone. And often when people cheat, they do feel guilty and they do try to carry the weight of like everything, and that's why they're not leaving the family situation, because they are trying to think about everyone. I know it doesn't seem like that, but as I get older, I kind of understand and see things in a very different way. I really do. Right, so we've had advice there, advice there, advice there. We're still reading these, aren't we? Expressing love. Today, I notice the things I appreciate about the people in my life. I take a moment to send them love and to wish them well. My love is infinite and it feels great to express it. Playful. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there is so much fun to be had? Intentions. Today is a fresh start. No matter how my day was yesterday, I can make of today whatever I want. My intention for the day is, and then they've left a gap for us to fill in. Write your intention and take this card behind your door so you may remember as you leave your house. Okay, so today's a fresh start. Like, often we fall off the wagon, don't we, when we try to give up booze and have dry January, or we say we're gonna like I've, felt guilty today because I said I was gonna exercise like and move more each day and I haven't. But I'm back at work, it's winter, it's icy conditions. Would it be sensible to go swimming? No. Is it essential to try to get to and from work? Yeah. I could work out, but I've had a long week and I'm tired. So tomorrow, after a good sleep, I'll work out. You know what I mean? I've been in work all day, so it's also that time of the month for me. So I never feel great working out when it's like that. It's icky, it's not nice. And yeah, it's like back at work, and I've had a lot of stuff to deal with, a lot of challenges to overcome. I deserve a rest, right? So it doesn't mean that I'm going to write off the idea of moving more each day. It doesn't mean I'm going to write it off. I've actually avoided having sweet food. Um, so at least part of what my intention is true, but it doesn't mean that I've failed, okay? Retreat, personal growth, other people's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. Today is a fresh start, no matter how my day was yesterday. Inspiration board. If I'm ever feeling down or bored, I spend time creating a vision board to place in my home. It feels very much like, do you know when you're not in a point of your life or a phase of your life that you're kind of happy with, or you're not in a position that you're happy with, and it's going to take some work to kind of change things, but it's important to do things like protect your peace and manage your emotions and get focused and excited about what you want for the future. It feels very much like, yeah, we've got manifest, haven't we? It feels very much like I know things have been shit, and I know that cups have been spilt, and I know you've got, all these like heavy emotions, but there's so much to look forward to. In life, we've got opportunity, prudence. You could look at Don't Be Lured by the Siren Song as a reason not to get back with someone. Because maybe, it's tempting to just reconcile, because then people will go, well, that's easier. That's nice because you haven't got to split up the assets now. Oh, well, that's easy. That's nice because, the kids will be happier with that. It's your decision, isn't it? But don't be directed by what someone else thinks or what someone else says or how someone else responds to it. Don't be directed by that. You take time out, you decide what you want as an individual. Be thankful for what you have got, because there are people around you, there's individuals that are there for you no matter what you decide. And at the end of the day, you can't make someone else be with you. So no one can make you be with them, and you can't make anyone be with you. So if it was mutual and you were both unhappy apart, you both wanted to get back together, do that. If it's mutual and you both want to separate, do that. Because you can't really control what someone else wants to do, but Spirit's advice for you, Pisces, is like, brave the rough seas. Don't be lured by the siren's song. Do your best to manage your emotions, cheer yourself up, get optimistic about the future, what you can achieve solo or with someone else or with this person. There is so much to look forward to, but you need to, I don't want to say grow a thicker skin, because that's just rubbish, because that's like denying feelings. But when other people judge you, it's about them. That judgment is them projecting stuff onto you, so don't let that be your like guidance. Okay, you've got your own internal guidance system, your tummy, your mind, whatever is like giving you the most peace of mind, the most excitement about the future, whatever you feel in your heart you really want, go for it. I haven't pulled any advice from this deck yet. Stellar energy. Channel star energy to activate your inner light and strength. Stars, energy, radiance. When you look up at space and you look up at the stars in the night sky, it does really make you think how insignificant we are. It's also like a very romantic view, isn't it? The night sky, it's peaceful. It's not intimidating, it's kind of alluring, and it feels like a map, like everything's written in the stars, and you're allowed to hope, you're allowed to wish, you're allowed to wonder what else is out there. People have traditionally been guided by the stars, navigation systems, astrologers, animals. We have it in religion. It's very much a symbol of ambition, hope, optimism. You've got to have ambition, hope, and optimism. Allow yourself to have those things, okay? Don't be lured back to something because it suits everyone else and less people will judge you. Don't be lured by someone who's got negative intentions towards you and just likes the idea of being kinky and screwing around. Just try to follow your own internal navigation system. Manifest. Have a really good think. What do I want for myself? What's going to bring me happiness in the future? And then say it out loud. Say it so your spirit can bring it in. Ask your angels to bring it in for you. And in about a year, I'm telling you, major things will start happening. I'm going to get you an angel number because I just feel like you need it. 1001, spiritual awakening. New beginnings, personal development. Oh my god, it's coming out like double confirmation again. Prioritizing creativity and heading in the right direction. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, Pisces, which can feel like a dark night of the soul, the stormy waters. Yeah. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. That's beautiful. That's really caring. Spirit's letting you know that you're in good company. The pain and the suffering that you're enduring and experiencing, it's supposed to happen, because when we go through rough times and dark times, you really go into hermit mode and contemplate You know, you do a lot of shadow work, you reflect, you get very emotional, and when the emotions start to pass and you find ways to be happy again, you start daydreaming and thinking about what you do want going forward. You start manifesting it. Get clear on what you want, what is going to make you happy in the future going forward. What are your goals? What are your dreams? Make a vision board. Say it out loud. Read about spirituality. Um, Read this book by Kevin Hunter, A Beginner's Guide to the Four Psychic Clair Senses. You can get it off Amazon for cheap. When you read about spirituality and the chakras and the angels and the different clair abilities that we all have, at least 2 out of the 4, okay, you just start believing that you can manifest the life that you want, your dream life. Okay, so it's your call, but it does seem like whatever would be the most challenging direction to go, or the scariest direction to go, it seems like you're being urged to do it. And if that's leaving a relationship that isn't working anymore, you're being urged to carry on walking out the door. It's very much talking about starting over. You know, there's big messages on personal growth, starting over, being thankful for the people that are supportive to you, getting clear on what you want, manifesting it in. Manifesting means saying, I really want to get a full-time job. I really want to get a house. I'd love a house by the sea. They're quite general, very large asks. You know, I would love to be in love. I want a person with these qualities. You can start to make it a bit more refined. But what you can't do is say, I want, you know, Richard, or I want, I don't know, Eli, or I want Debbie. You can't pick specific people and make them be with you. But you can say, do you know what, I'd love someone who's reliable. I would love someone who's got a really great work ethic. I would love someone who's got a cracking sense of humour. I would love someone who can just make great conversation about pretty much any topic. You know, like they've got a brain the size of the planet. Not to a boring degree, but like just a really great conversationalist, yeah, great general knowledge, kind of sapiosexual, you know, vibes. Like, I love someone who's creative. Like, you think about the qualities you want in a person, and they will be brought to you. Say, like, you know, I would love a house. I would love it to be in the countryside. I would love it to be at the beach. Spirit, will you like bring me a workplace that's going to be supportive, you know, to me, like understand me, be patient for my growth, um, encourage me, you know, and show me like it's okay to make mistakes, and like be forgiving of the fact that I'm new to something. Like, you can manifest in like anything you want. You just can't make any specific person be with you, you know. You can also really like visualize like a person, what you'd like them to be like, or visualize a house, or visualize you doing a job, your dream job, or whatever it is. You've got to do stuff in the 3D reality. So like if it's a job, you know, you would send out applications or join an agency or get a consultant um, to sort of like help get you recruited. You do things in your 3D reality, but you ask the universe out loud. And if you ever say 1111, it's a time to quickly say, without thinking too much, what one thing that you really want. You know, it's like asking Santa for a present. Like, whatever the one thing is that you really want, ask for it then, quick, you know, while the clock's on 1111. It has to be when you've accidentally glanced at the computer or the car, or you watch and it's 11:11, you can't sit and sort of wait for it to turn 11:11. But if you happen to glance, and then a few days later you glance and you get 11:11, it's doing it on purpose. It'll be like a few times in a month that it happens. But that's when you kind of, by reading about spirituality, by meditating, by doing something, watching more and more tarot, you agreeing that you're sort of recognizing that source is a real thing, that the universe is abundant and what you ask for will be given to you. When spirit sees you working hard on yourself, spirit rewards that and meets that halfway, but they don't know how to reward you if you never say what it is that you want, right? Santa doesn't know what to bring you unless you write a list. So yeah, think of it like that. Santa for grown-ups. Right, I've gone absolutely on and on. Take care, Pisces. Things will get better. Okay, and I will see you in the next one.